In today's video, I'm going to share with you my top 5 safest Pokemon card investments that I've discovered with over 13 years of being an adult collector. I've been able to grow my collection from the cards I had as a kid to complete sets, sealed vintage booster boxes, pretty much ticked off most of my collecting goals all through the hobby. So if you're looking to avoid the mistakes and the risks that I've took and looking for a safe investment to make and make some money, then listen up to the 5 safest Pokemon card investments you can make.
Are you ready for shredding?
Contrary to what a lot of viewers might have thought, this isn't a list of 5 Charizards. This is going to be 5 different kinds of Pokemon product that I would say is the safest investments that you can make within the hobby, whether you're an investor purely looking for that cash return, or you are a collector looking to grow your own collection by funding it through money you can make in the hobby. This comes from over 13 years of me collecting, and a lot of these are what I've personally invested in over the years, which has allowed me to grow my collection to what it is today. So let's get ready, shreddy, and go straight into today's list. And in at number 5 is anything that you personally like. So this first point might seem a little bit too vague or might not be the super secret that you were looking for, but it's actually a really good point. Take a look back at any, and I mean any, Pokemon card or Pokemon product from all the way back to, let's say, 1999 up until 2016, 2017, and compare the price of those products then to the prices now. Everything has gone up. Any single card, product, promo, theme deck, booster pack, as soon as that goes out of print, the price starts to climb up. Me personally, as a collector first, this is exactly what I did back in 2008 when I returned to collecting Pokemon cards. I focused on the cards that I liked and the cards that I wanted to add to my own collection. So for me, this was the cards that I didn't have when I was a kid, and this was the cards that I needed to complete the sets that I collected when I was a kid. So this was the vintage WotC cards, anything from base set all the way up until Neo. By focusing on my own goals and the cards that I liked, I was able to learn more about the price of these cards, I was able to learn more about the hobby and discover new cards that I took a liking to and wanted to add to my own collection. For me, this expanded into the Black Star promos, into Japanese versions of the set cards, into the vending machine cards, Japanese promos like the Anna Airlines cards, as well as sealed items such as theme decks, and then boom, 12 years later, Shreddy's now an investor. So if you're a collector and are not too sure what to invest in, well, keep watching this video because we've got 4 more things coming up. As a general rule of thumb, my advice would be to buy things that you enjoy. If it's something that you personally like and want for your own collection, chances are you're going to hold onto this item for longer. You won't panic sell when the price of things drop. You won't be looking to sell things that you truly want if you need, cash in the event of an emergency. You'll be able to keep these in your own collection, hold them for as long as possible, because the longer you hold a card, typically the more it's going to be worth. Fun fact, back in 2012, I sold a Pokemon Legendary Collection booster box sealed for about £200. Had I held that for 8-9 more years, I would now be sitting on something that's worth 20 grand. I actually did a box break of one, and I still have the empty box right here, and I sold these packs individually. Again, if I'd held onto this as a sealed product, it would now be worth a lot more money. I've made these mistakes, so hopefully you can learn from them. And if you don't want to make these same mistakes as me, then all you've got to do is hit that subscribe button to see more of these kinds of videos where I share my tips to help you grow your collection and to make money. So even if you are a true collector through and through, if you treat your collection as an investment, as in the things that you're buying, you want to hold long term, you look after it, you're going to be in a position that you will actually hold these items for a long amount of time to let them appreciate and let them gain true value to sell on whenever you need that cash later in life. If you're a Sudowoodo fan and that's your favourite Pokemon, this approach might not net you as much returns or as much profit as if your favourite card was a Charizard. Spoiler alert, keep watching for Charizard in the number spot. But if you are spending money regularly in the hobby as a collector and assuming that you're not playing with an infinite money cheat, then spending money on the cards that you actually like and want to collect is the safest investment that you can make. Number 4, base set first edition PSA 9 slabs and/or popular Pokemon. So I could be really vague with this recommendation, but before I open it up to be a little bit broader, I'm going to give you a specific recommendation. First edition base set PSA 9 slabs. So a quick disclaimer on this, we did see some big price drops on these towards the end of 2020. This was following a massive spike in the market, but if we look at prices in 2020 and compare them to prices in 2000, if we were to plot that as a graph, the line, 2000 here, 2020 here, is going to look like that. If you bought any of these cards, what, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, even 2 years ago, you've made big money. First edition PSA 9 cards are a good and a safe investment because a lot of them you can still actually buy now in 2021 for cheaper than you could buy a first edition heavy base set booster pack. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can probably buy any PSA 9 first edition base set card than cheaper than what you could go and get a Logan Paul pack for. So why is this a safe investment? Well, it was the very first set ever printed. The first edition actually carries rarity and scarcity, unlike the unlimited version of the prints. So as people who grew up with Pokemon like me have more earning power, they want to go and collect the cards that started it off and the cards from their childhood. If you're an investor coming into the market, you're probably going to want to start with, you know, where the franchise kicked off, thinking that the first edition cards of the first set are going to be the most sought after cards.
But Shreddy, the market crashed last year. First edition prices fell.
This is a good point and something that I actually mentioned multiple times last year in videos, Instagram posts and Facebook posts. Every time I mentioned the potential of a crash or a drop or a retrace in the market, I was met with a lot of backlash. So this is why I want to say, go back to plotting that out as a graph. If we looked at 2000 here, 2020 here, the price mark is going to look like that. But along the way, you've got those ups and downs, and I'm getting deja vu here because I've made this exact analogy and shown this exact example in multiple videos. So if we were then to plot out 2020 here to say 2040, I'm very confident that the price is going to look like this again. However, along the way, you're going to have ups and downs and fluctuations within the marketplace. Pokemon does drop, Pokemon does go down, but long term, I think the prices are going to just grow and grow and grow. But if you have saw those price fluctuations and a little bit jittery, or you don't have the money to be able to spend on PSA 9 first edition graded cards, then I want to open this recommendation up to something a little bit broader. What I would say is buy any vintage popular Pokemon cards. What I mean by that is any of the popular Pokemon, buy those cards. This could be the Blastoises, the Evolutions, any of the Shining Pokemon from the Neo sets, a Lugia, a Mewtwo. I'm talking about investing in, mega punching that thumbs up button to help YouTube sprinkle some awesome sauce over this video so more people can see it. Popular Pokemon will always be in demand from casual collectors and from investors who aren't necessarily Pokemon fans, but they'll do some research to see, okay, what are the popular Pokemon? What are the popular cards? As they come into the marketplace, they'll then start to buy those cards up. Look at what we saw last year with Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Pikachu from the base set. Common cards in first edition PSA 10 that were going for crazy prices. Popular Pokemon will always be in demand. It makes a safe investment and also makes your cards a little bit more liquid, meaning if you do need to sell them in the future, you're going to have a much easier time selling a Blastoise card than you would a Muck. Number 3, on the theme of popular Pokemon, we've got a section of this video dedicated to Charizard cards. Vintage Charizard cards, but literally any vintage WotC era Charizard card is a safe investment. This means base set 2, Rocket, Gym Challenge, Neo Destiny, the E-Series. Whenever prices climb of cards, it's always the chase cards, it's always the rarest or the most valuable cards in the set that climb the most, that climb first, and that climb the fastest. And if we look back to literally any single Wizards of the Coast Pokemon card set, Charizard card is always the chase card of the set and always the most expensive card in that set. Charizard, for the most part, is even the most popular and most expensive card in modern sets. Let's look at Burning Shadows, Hidden Fates, Champion's Path, just to name a few. So if you're looking for a safe investment, you'd have to shell out a little bit more money to be able to go and get something like a first edition PSA 9 or a PSA 10 Charizard cards. But in terms of it being safe, Charizard is probably the single Pokemon, the single safest Pokemon card you can invest in. Now, unlimited Charizards have been spammed to death, especially in like PSA 9 and under. But we saw last year with so much demand around the hobby, even cards that have a huge population report are still able to climb in price to crazy prices. So as long as you're not jumping in and buying at all-time highs, I still genuinely believe that these cards are a safe investment. This is because there's always going to be buyers out there who are wanting the very first Charizard card out there, and as people can't afford first edition PSA 10s or even first edition cards at all, as they become more and more expensive, you're then going to have people looking to buy unlimited versions of the card, and as the 10s and the 9s climb in price, then you'll have people who can only afford maybe the 8s, the 7s, the 6s. They'll kind of flock to those and want to buy those cards. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to get as big of a return on investment percent-wise buying a PSA 8 or a PSA 9 Charizard as what you would a PSA 10. But what I am saying is any Charizards is a safe investment. Raw, graded, it doesn't matter. People will always want the Charizard cards. Number 2, vintage sealed product, particularly base set booster packs and base set booster boxes. Now, boxes, you're going to have a big stack of cash to be able to buy one of them. So we're going to focus more on booster packs today. Sealed product, in my opinion, is the safest investment you can make in Pokemon. They're certainly not immune to price drops, but sealed product has the least price elasticity within the entire hobby. Now, this is for a number of reasons. One of them is because people love a gamble. People love a lottery ticket. People love a scratch card. People love to open packs. People love to see other people opening packs. If you're opening a pack for yourself, you're not just paying for those cards, you're paying for the experience, you're paying for the excitement, and you're paying for that gamble. You're paying to have that 50cc shot of nostalgia injected directly straight into your ass by opening one of these old school Pokemon cards, the kind that you opened when you were a kid. It's hard to put a price point on that feeling. So one of the reasons that people are paying big money for these products is because they want to, recapture that small moment of their childhood, and they want to hopefully be able to, spend a couple of £100 or a couple of $100 on a pack, but pull a card that is going to be worth in PSA graded 10 thousands of pounds. They want to make a good return, they want to gamble, and they want it to pay off. Now that carries a premium price, and if we look at YouTube, pack opening channels, vintage pack opening channels are some of the most popular Pokemon channels on YouTube. But with each new video, with each new box, with each new booster pack that's opened, that's less and less product in circulation, which drives the price up, assuming that demand stays the same or if demand even increases. Some YouTubers are literally making their entire livelihood and their business around opening old packs, so they always need to be able to source these older packs coming through. They always need that stock on hand to be able to open and create this content and run their business. You're then going to have people my age who just want, that excitement. They just want to relive that experience of opening those old Pokemon cards. So they'll want to buy a single pack to open for a little bit of fun. Then you've got the people that don't even open product, seal collectors, which is an entirely different pool, an entirely different target market, and another audience that wants to buy these products. So because these openings are so popular on YouTube, the more we see opened, the more that supply is going down. As the popularity increases, the more that the demand is going up. We're seeing those price climbs. We're seeing the price of the sealed product jump. And for me, sealed product is a very, very safe investment. And that sealed product could be anything. It could be a base set booster pack, a jungle booster pack, it could be a booster box. And at the number 1 spot, the absolute safest Pokemon card investment you can make is mega punching that thumbs up button. Hell, even go one further, double down on your investment. Earthquake that thumbs up button, Psybeam that thumbs up button. It only takes 2 seconds to do and will tell YouTube to push this video out to other Pokemon nerds just like me, just like you, and helps me out a ton. But in at the real numero uno spot, we have the safest Pokemon card investment you can make is sealed modern product at RRP. So for safe bets, these are the absolute safest. Buying sealed product at retail for its standard RRP. It can be modern booster packs, modern booster boxes, ETBs, pin collections, it doesn't really matter. As long as you are paying RRP, Worst case scenario for the majority of sets is if you are in a rush or an urgent situation where you need money, chances are you're going to be able to just sell these products back at RRP through a Facebook marketplace. In the current market, with people flipping, scalping, stock shortages, you're guaranteed to be able to make even just a small amount of profit on no matter what modern product you buy. But as a long-term investment, not a flip, as a long-term investment, modern Pokemon sealed product is still the safest way to go. When these things go out of print, the price starts to go up. Now, depending on how popular the set was, depends on how fast it climbs and how much it climbs, but even the more unpopular sets, once it goes out of print, those prices are going to start to climb up a little bit. And if you're thinking of this as a long-term investment, hell, 3 years ago, nobody thought Evolutions would be the price it is now, but if you were buying those back in 2016, holding them for 5 years, you've almost 10 times your money. Even seeing sets like Steam Siege, which is widely considered the worst Pokemon card set ever, actually raising in money now. Even if Pokemon announces a reprint of some of these older sets, it's still going to be getting sold at RRP. So as long as you're not paying secondary market prices, you're literally never going to lose money on these things. Now, as a collector, you're going to get a feel for what's popular in the hobby at the moment. Some sets will be more popular than others. Some sets will have more long-term potential than others. And how good a set is will determine how much of a return and how investable it will be longer term. So while you can get into the specifics to say, oh well, this set or this set are the best investments, literally if you just spread your money over any modern sealed product, I'm not saying it's going to be the highest return, and I still do believe that vintage product has had and will continue to have a much better return than what modern product will have. But I am saying it's going to be the safest investment you can make, and by far the most conservative investment that you can make. So guys, there you have it, my top 5 safest Pokemon card investments you can make. There's plenty to look at here, from sealed cards, there's plenty to look at here from sealed product to graded cards to raw cards and everything in between. So no matter what kind of collector or investor you are, no matter what kind of budget you're working with, there's something on this list that you can buy and start investing in. Let me know if I've missed any out of this list, and let me know which of these top 5 you are investing in. If you are looking to grow your collection for cheap, on screen now is my video telling you how you can grow your collection on a cheap budget. And make sure you hit the subscribe button to see more videos like this, to get tips and tricks on how to grow your collection and make money with Pokemon. That's it for today, and until next time, remember that collecting ain't no gimmick, it's a lifestyle.